Hello everyone, Courtney here. Do you have a love-hate relationship with email? Have so many emails that you lose them? Getting a hold on your email is difficult, but if we can do it, it really lowers your mental stress levels, makes you less overwhelmed when working on your computer, and also helps you enjoy pitching. Say what? I know, wild, right? Without a process, attacking your email is like climbing Mount Everest. Will you ever reach the top? Well, it starts with having the right tools for the journey. It always seems to be like that, doesn't it? The right tools. Today, we will talk about a few steps you can take to start climbing your Mount Everest email journey to Inbox Zero. Welcome to episode number 54. Let's get into it.
We're inventing. Passion and hard work intersect. Welcome to the Serial Inventing Podcast. Bite-sized, perspective-altering episodes on serial inventing and beyond. From motivating key tips on product licensing to obstacle-busting conversations on transitioning to a full-time serial product developer. Buckle your seatbelt, because you're in for a ride. Warning, this podcast may motivate you to make wild decisions that will propel you forward in your inventing career and hijack more of your time for your passion. If you aren't ready to make it happen, then this podcast isn't for you.
So per usual, let's define what we are actually trying to do. Inbox Zero is a productivity hack that I have linked in the show notes, an article from TechTarget that goes over it. In the article, it states that productivity expert Merlin Mann introduced the concept of Inbox Zero in 2006. According to Mann, the zero isn't a reference to the number of messages in an inbox, but rather the amount of time an employee's brain is in his inbox. Mann's point is that time and attention are finite, and productivity suffers when an inbox is confused with a to-do list. By cleaning up our inbox, unsubscribing to emails, and only keeping emails in our inbox or in folders that require us to take action really help us be more productive when we look at our email. So, where do we even start with this? What I would first recommend is downloading the app on your phone called Unroll.me. If it looks like a U with an earmark on it, that's it. You will need to log into your email in the app. I would recommend that you work with one email at a time. Trying to tackle 2 email addresses is like climbing both Everest and K2 at the same time. Pass. Once you have logged into your email in the app, wait for it to find all of your subscriptions. Then it will list the subscriptions you have. Once you see the list, there are 3 things you can do with each subscription. You can press keep. This will keep this subscription inside your regular inbox. Or you can press unsubscribe. However, please note that this will actually not unsubscribe you from it, but actually move these emails into a single folder that Unroll.me will create in your inbox, so you never have to see these emails again. I think this is a quicker way to do it so you can get a hold of your emails faster. Then, at a much later time, you can go into this folder and actually unsubscribe from all of these. Finally, you can also do what is called roll up. All emails you place in here will be rolled up into one email a day. So you will get an email from Unroll.me into your email every day with all of the emails you got that you placed in here that you don't want in your regular inbox, clouding up more important emails. But you also don't want to unsubscribe from them because occasionally you want to look at them. When you get that email, you can very easily scroll through them within that one email and archive that single email when done. I put a lot of promotional and social emails in here, as well as some email newsletters I check about once a month. I sorted hundreds of email subscriptions I've had for over 14 years in a matter of an hour with this app. It's incredible, and this is your first step. Note that occasionally Unroll.me will find new subscriptions, so I would recommend you go into the app once a week for a while to check if it found more emails to sort. Also note that if you lack space in your email, that is a whole different problem that should be solved immediately, and there are many solutions to that. I use Gmail and Google Drive heavily, so for me, I pay for 2 terabytes of storage with Google One for $100 a year. So that is how I choose to solve that problem. Next, I would recommend considering what emails you receive from LinkedIn. LinkedIn has many email addresses it uses, and it takes some time to toggle those off. I'm very active on LinkedIn, often once a day, if not more. So I found that getting LinkedIn emails was just repeat for me, so I turned those off so they don't go to my inbox. If you want this too, you need to click on the arrow next to your headshot and click Privacy and Settings. Then click Notifications and let the games begin. There are 13 sections you will need to go into, with often over 5 sections under each of those sections to toggle off email for each one. It will take you some time, but it will be worth it. Depending on what other social media you have and how frequently it sends you emails, you might want to turn those off as well. Now, these next 2 things will only pertain to you if you use Google Calendar as well as Gmail. As for Google Calendar, if you are ever setting up a meeting manually, you will need to decide if you want it to send you an email both 10 minutes before and 30 minutes before it happens. I have found myself that getting push notifications about the meeting on my phone is fine, but felt no benefit to adding an email or 2 about the meeting. So now, every meeting I create, I X out the 10 and 30-minute reminder emails, and it has decluttered my inbox a lot. And now for the big one, Gmail. If you use another email, I sadly just don't have enough information for how to organize other email clients. As for Gmail, there is a lot you can do with it. For starters, it is learning how to use Gmail correctly. Shocker, right? I'm going to give you the kicker right now. When you archive an email in Gmail, it removes it from your main inbox and places it in what is called all mail. All emails are findable and searchable there, but don't clutter up your inbox. I was always worried that when I archived emails, I wouldn't be able to find them again, never decluttering my inbox. So once I learned this, I did 2 things. First, I slowly skimmed through each email I had received for the past 3 months to grab any emails I still needed to do something with, archiving all other emails in their path. Once I found that I was going through 50 emails at a time and not saving any 10 times in a row, I knew I went far back enough to grab anything important. And then, besides those particular emails I kept, I archived every other email in my inbox. And for me, that was over 80,000 emails curated over 14 years out of my inbox. I was in awe. I kind of still am. First, we removed unwanted email subscriptions. Then we archived all emails no longer serving us. And the last piece is to organize emails that we do want in our inbox. To do this, it needs to serve you, so it might be different for you than for me. But I followed a video on how to use labels correctly in Gmail and created my own. That video is in the show notes. Though I do have my own product licensing email, I've actually found more success with people getting back to me using my long-standing regular personal email. So to differentiate them in my box, I have created a label for my product licensing where I label each email thread that is relevant to that. And now, my inbox is nicely colored so I know exactly what to look at when. My other 3 labels I use are Keep, To Read, and Action Required. These may or may not be related to product licensing, and I use those 3 carefully and meaningfully. Now, every email that hits my inbox has 6 options. I either keep them, often for things like tickets to a show or items I will need in the near future that I want to easily grab, or To Read, where I need a couple more minutes than I have currently to read an article I am interested in going back to, or Action Required. meaning I need to concoct a response back to someone, and I'm using my action required as a task list for me. Then anything already not labeled for my product licensing for current conversations, I do so I can always sort by that label and do follow-ups at any time. Elsewise, all other emails either get archived or I unsubscribe to it immediately. My goal is to have as few emails in my inbox, of course, but more importantly, they are organized so I can plan my time accordingly and be efficient with it. The video in the show notes also goes over how to remove your social and promotions tabs in your Gmail, which I will say did help clean up my inbox having them until I found out how to accomplish inbox zero. It honestly feels like a secret hack I am exposing. If I was selling this, I feel they would be flying out of my hands like hotcakes. Because I will have to say, Inbox Zero was a huge game changer for me. Once I sat down and just did all the work, climbing Mount Everest wasn't so hard. I was out of breath at times, yes, but the view from up there is like no other. My inbox was finally a place of peace, something I had never experienced before. Thanks for tuning in and taking a few bites with me today. And remember, serial inventors don't make excuses. They make it happen. See you soon!